Hi, I'm Claire, and today we are going to be unboxing January's Illumicrate, which just arrived this morning, and I have been waiting all day to be able to set everything up and actually open it for you guys. So the theme for this month, if I remember correctly, is the strength within. So let's take a little peek. I opened up the tape earlier, but obviously haven't looked into it yet. Let's see. There we go. Let's see what's inside the box. First, we've got a lot of cardboard, and I can see something blue. Ooh! It's a hat. It's a winter hat, which is cool because it's pretty cold in the UK at the moment. And on it, it says, "I am stardust, gathered fleetingly into form." And it's got these little hands and sparks. Now, I would have said I needed a winter hat, like, if this had come in the December box, but then my mom knit me a winter hat for Christmas, so I don't actually need one at the moment, but it's pretty useful to have. And I'm not actually sure what book it's referencing, so I'll have to check the spoiler card and see. So the next thing that I'm seeing is the book pouch. All of the books for Illumicrate always come in these little pouches, and this is a 2-book box, which I think we were told in December's box, so I'm very, very excited to check out 2 new books, but I'm going to keep that for the end. Ooh, there's a little pouch. Ooh, that's the Gideon thing, isn't it? We were told that this box would have something from Gideon and 9, and I'm really, really excited. This is like a little coin purse, I think, and it's got obviously the skull with the 9th house on it and double swords and like plenty of other little skulls on the back. It says, "If you do not find yourself a galaxy, it is not so bad to find yourself a star," which I'm not sure if that's actually a quote from the book, but it does look pretty rad. So I'm very excited for this. I think this will be useful for something like a convention or when I'm traveling. Like, it's much smaller than my actual purse, so it will be good for carrying around with me when I need that. And I can also see a bookmark. Oh, that is gorgeous. I mean, I'm assuming that is a bookmark. It's this gorgeous thin wooden bookmark that is a feather. Now, I'm not sure if that specifically has a book attached to it or if it's just a really beautiful feather, but like, I'm very excited about this. I love an item in a book box that is useful, and like, between a hat and a little pouch for money and then an actual bookmark, like, we are doing good so far. That is so pretty. Ooh, speaking of useful, the next thing is a little book light, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, I'm assuming I have to put a battery in it or something, but it's one of those little lights that like clips to your book or something, and then you can read in bed. I probably shouldn't do that because my eyes are really bad and I look at a computer all day, so probably if I did that it would hurt my eyes quite a bit, but it's always useful. I don't know, on a plane it might be quite useful actually. Oh, I was looking at this like, oh, it doesn't work, I must have to put a battery in it, and there's a little screw and I don't have a screwdriver, but it turned out I just didn't press it strong enough, and then I did it in my eyes. So there we go. There's a little book light. That's really, really useful. And then we've got the little coin, which always comes in the Illumicrate, and this is once again a character I do not recognize. Very elfin, very grand looking. I'm sure the spoiler card will tell me. I like that it's purple though. It's very, very pretty. These are always really, really nice. It's just that I don't actually know who it's about. Ooh, and there is a gorgeous print. I thought that we were done because I couldn't see any more actual items, but this was at the bottom, and oh my goodness, it's so pretty. Look at those pretty girls! Oh my god, this is great. I don't know if you can see, but it looks almost a little bit foiled all over. Like, it's shiny, but also because there are golds in the picture and kind of rose gold kind of tones, it almost looks like the whole thing is foiled. I don't actually know what the like term is to refer to that, but I wonder what book this is actually from, because I've read quite a few YA books last year that had female romances, so, you know, in my head I'm like trying to think, who will I cast these 2 ladies as from the books that I read last year. So let's have a look at the books. I'm very excited. First up, I can immediately see deckled pages on one of them as I'm opening this, so this is pretty exciting. First, we have a paperback. Ooh, and it is Infinity Sun by Adam Silvera. I have seen this one around on BookTube and all of that, but I don't actually know what it's about. The front says who will live forever and who will die trying, and the back tells us that it is about two brothers kind of thrown against one another and in competition with one another, and it is urban fantasy and it's all about spellcasters in New York City. So that sounds pretty exciting. I've never read anything by Adam Silvera, although I do know that like loads and loads of people love his books. I just haven't read anything by him yet, so I'm looking forward to this one for sure. This cover is really pretty. I like anything that looks kind of dragony, and there is some like matte sort of foiling on here. I'm not sure the camera can pick it up because it's not like super shiny, but it's definitely foiled and it's very, very pretty. And then this one is of course signed by the author, as they tend to be for book crates. And I was just checking to see if there was a map in the front, because I love me a map in the front of a book, but there is not. Which does make sense if it is urban fantasy and it is actually just set in New York City. This one is so pretty and I've never heard of it. This is The Sisters Grimm by Manor van Praagh, and look at this amazing, like, there's foiling, it's a naked hardback. All of these things are amazing. This is about 4 sisters, 3 will live and 1 will die, and then it's got a blurb on the front from the author of The Binding, which I know many people have absolutely loved last year. Black spray edges. I mean, how pretty is this book? I can't get over how pretty this book is. Oh my goodness. And I do love a story about sisters, so I think it's quite nice actually that we are getting a book about brothers and a book about sisters in the same box. That's quite cool. I'm sure that must have been intentional, but it's a very nice thing to tie the two in together. Oh, and this is really interesting. It looks like they're chosen sisters. This is the story of 4 sisters Grimm, daughters born to different mothers on the same day, each born out of bright white wishing and black-edged desire. I wonder if they were kind of cursed into existence almost. They found each other at 8, were separated at 13. Now they are nearly 18 and must find each other again. That sounds delightfully creepy. Oh, and look at the gorgeous end papers on this one. That is beautiful, and those are tarot cards. So definitely something a little magic, and of course it is signed by the author. Again, like, not heard of this author, not heard of this book. And this one has a map. It's a map to Cambridge, so there we go. That's where the book is set. That's really exciting. I hope this book is as good as this cover is, because it would be really disappointed if it were not. So there you go, 2 new books to go on my TBR shelf, and quite a few very cool items. I'm going to look at the spoiler card now. Okay, so the beanie was designed by Hey Atlas Creative, and it is from Daughter of Smoke and Bone, which makes sense because I read the first book and really loved the writing, but really didn't get along with the plot, and especially like the big plot twist in the second act of it so well, and I didn't continue with the series, so it would make sense that I wouldn't necessarily recognize that particular quote. The Feather Bookmark was designed by Chatty Nora, and it specifically says Phoenix Feather, which makes sense because it kind of looks like flames when you look at it from up close. So that is really beautiful. And it says inspired by our 2nd book this month, so I'm assuming that's Infinity Sun, because it looked like it had a dragon on the cover, but it might be a phoenix. The booklight is from Hunger Games, which I'm not sure if I actually said that in the first place, but it does have a little mockingjay on the front. It very obviously is from Hunger Games, and it was designed by Chloe Lee Hughes at This Girl Has No Name. The artwork for the Gideon and Ninth Perth is by Forensics and Flowers, which is very aptly named for this actual object, and it says perfect for carrying around bone shards or coins and other small bits if you're not a necromancer, which is very sweet. Okay, so confirmed, this print is actually holographic, and it is from Girls of Paper and Fire, which again, I have not actually read, but let me know in the comments if you've read it and if you would recommend it, because certainly this is making me think that I should. And the artwork is by Kim Ekdahl at Pink Tofu Art. And the collectible coin is by Mona Lime, as it usually is. It features Feather Bookmark. How do you actually say this character's name? I know they're from Sarah J Maas. Like, literally all I know about this series is stuff that people have said about it on BookTube. And then finally, on the last page of the spoiler card, we have the reveal of next month's theme, which will be Sparks Fly. That makes sense, of course, because it's February and it's Valentine's month, so I'm assuming we'll have a book with a strong romance element. I don't want to read too much of the description of the actual book, but it does say that the next box will contain one of Illumicrate's storage tins, which is very intriguing, because who doesn't need a storage tin? I certainly need more storage as ever. So that's it. This was this month's Illumicrate. I hope you enjoyed this unboxing. Let me know in the comments below what your favorite item out of all of those would be. For me, it has to be a tie between this gorgeous, gorgeous Feather Bookmark and the Gideon coin purse, because Gideon, I love that book so much, but this item is absolutely gorgeous and I will be using it as soon as possible. If you'd like to see more from me, you can check out a previous video on screen right now. And if you haven't yet, please hit the subscribe button that's on my face for a new video from me every week. I've been Claire, thanks so much for watching, and see you soon.